Let me explain you about the VPN. Because VPN is also one thing that you are going to use when you're a company, right? You are in the company, you are going to use it, right? As well as for lab access also, once we start the practicals, and once I have to give the access to you for SIM solution, you are going to connect from home using the VPN only. How people access and connect to the company network by home, how people work from home, they connect to the company server, company devices from home itself, which is having even private IPs. Our servers also will have the private IPs. You can access from home. You understand, private IPs are internal IP address. You cannot connect directly using internet. Yes or no? Private IP cannot be identified within the network, within the local area network, not over the internet. So how you can access our server, which have a local IP address, internal IP address from the internet using the VPN. Many of the people doing the COVID work from home used to connect to the company private network from home itself. Understand? So what is VPN? Let's understand. What is the full form of VPN?
Virtual private network.
Virtual
Private network. Private network.
Virtual private network.
We do not call it a private network, right? We call as virtual private network. The name suggests that it is actually not a private network, but virtually it is private network. Yes or no? That means it is actually not a private network. Virtually, it has created a private network. That is the VPN. Means private. There are two types of network: private and public. Means internet.
Internet.
Public means internet.
Private means your LAN, internet.
Intranet.
And public means internet. Right?
Internet.
Intranet and internet. Local
Intranet and
internet and internet. So when we talk about public network, means we are talking about internet. So virtual private network means creating the private network over the public network, means internet. Means you are here. I have my some resources which are here. Right? Just give me one moment. So now you can see here. You can see in this company. You have switch. Your system having IP 192.168.0.2. This is within the company. You have this system having private IP address. You are home user. You have connected to internet. So what IP you will get? Private or public? Public. For example, 196.0.2.100. So can you access this system from internet?
No.
Can we access? Why you cannot access?
No.
Also,
Because this is public.
right? How you cannot? Why you cannot access?
Because this PC is connected with public IP.
The system has the private IP address, and private, any computer is connected to the private IP address cannot connect to the internet directly. Means outside you cannot access directly. Directly your system this cannot access because your system is a private or public network, internet, and you are the private network. Means any system which is a part of private network only can access this. Any system which has the public IP cannot access it directly. But you have to do it. When you are connecting from home, you are having public IP address, but your company systems are having private IP address. Now, in order to complete your work, you have to connect to these systems. How we can do that? Now, the technology called VPN, virtual private networks. VPN technology, what it does it creates private net virtually over the public network. Virtually, it creates the private tunnel. It creates the private tunnel between, right? Why? See, why I'm configuring. See, some of the important server, I would have configured private public IP address and given the access. The reason why we have not given configuring public IP on the critical server system means exposing your system to all people? Yes or no? Bad people also, internet, you have good people, bad people, both. You wanted to give the access to good people, but in internet, there are bad people also. Yes or no? It's same like I am staying in HSR layout, right? I have to go with the Marathon in Mangaluru, right? So I have a bag with money. I want to travel now, go. In road, you have bad people, good people. Yes or no? Anybody can steal and anybody will get a fight with me and steal the money. Yes or no? Means when I carry a bag, they can see, oh, this person is carrying a bag and it may have money. Anybody can steal, right? But what if I create a tunnel below the road? I can create a tunnel from my home to Marathalli destination. Now from my home to Marathalli, it's a private tunnel, right? Nobody else can know, and nobody else, if I'm going also, nobody will come to know that I'm carrying something or I'm going there, something. It's a private, right? It's a private. It is not, destination is not publicly open. It's open just from my home to this home. It's a private. I will feel like I'm not in HSR layout. I'm in Marathalli only because I'm connected and nobody can see it. Yes or no? It's a tunnel. So VPN also create a tunnel over the public network. It will create private tunnel. Private tunnel means whatever you are accessing here, whatever data communication happen, it will get encrypted. First thing, whatever communication happen, it will get encrypted. Man in the middle cannot see what communication is happening. Second thing is, over public network, it will create private tunnel and you will get the private IP. Virtually, you will move from this location to this location. Virtually, your company will treat that your system is not a part of public network, internet. You virtually move to here. Part means whatever your people sitting in the company can access resources having private IP, you can also virtually shift from here. You will get the private IP after connect to VPN, and you can access all the private resources internal to your company. Get your mind? Virtually, you'll shift from here to here, and once you connect to the VPN, right, you'll get the private IP address, means which is part of your network only. And whatever access has been given to you, the system or whatever, you'll be able to access like when you are there in the company, same resources. If you have access, you can use it. Means you are at home, but still virtually you have been shifted to your company by connecting the VPN.
Sir,
understand? Yes.
Can't we call this as one form of netting?
Huh? What? No, it's not a netting. Netting is a VPN, separate from science, it's a separate technology. VPN. Understand? So VPN, once I connect to the VPN, once it is connected, I will get the private IP address. Virtually, I have shifted here. So what happens is, to configure the VPN, you have to use VPN devices, right? So firewall is coming out of the box feature with the VPN. Many of the firewall is having VPN feature also. Next generation firewall coming VPN feature. You know, there are something here we talk about standard firewall, right? Nowadays, next generation firewalls are coming, which is having multiple features on the same device. Right now, we talk about separate email gateway, firewall, WAF, proxy, all. Yes or no? Nowadays, next generation devices are coming. Next generation tool, we call as next generation firewall. We call as next generation firewall. That means that particular device is having firewall feature. Along with that, it has many other features. It can have proxy also. It can have VPN also. It can have email gateway also. It can have a anti-spam and other solution as well. One device having all the features, right? That device we call a next generation firewall. Previously, we used to call as UTM, Unified Threat Management. But UTM name is gone now. People are using the term name next generation firewall. Before I come back for the VPN feature, now I'm talking about next generation firewall. Is it good, right? Instead of having multiple devices for different feature, we can use next generation firewall. Cost also will be less. Different hardware, different software installing application. Instead of that, one device only you install, having all the feature, deployment cost, licensing cost, all will be less. What do you think that? Any enterprise
balancing.
go for So to go for you next generation firewall.
No, sir.
Small
Why?
companies can go for
Why?
that.
Multiple
Because an
layer of
attack had happened,
only
every device, everything get
Right.
compromised, right?
Correct. See, what happens is, first reason is single point of failure. For example, some failure happen, all the feature will be open, means it will come, it's been gone. You had you had firewall, you had email gateway, you had web, right? All the feature has been gone. Single point of failure. Second feature is but for example, you have worked for Fortinet. Fortinet, sometimes we have Fortinet does not have signature. Means because signature is being created by same vendor for all the devices, means it's a single point of compromise. If it is been compromised, all feature will get compromised. Yes or no? And second is load also. If one device will perform all the functions, it may not be able to bear all the loads, right? That is the reason next generation firewall is good for small companies, for SME kind of company which want all the features but cannot bear the cost. Management also will be very difficult for different devices. But here one device can be managed by single person, 2 to 3 person. But different devices we should have manageability also. Manageability also difficult, right? Lot of cost, isn't it? That's the reason. Big company may not go for this device, but a small company may go for which feature? Next generation firewall. Now, a lot of companies are working to create a next generation firewall, which can do, means which will not be a single point failure also, means they will do use some technology so that it will not be a single point failure, as well as it should be able to bear the load also, because manageability and cost is a big factor. And for different devices, manageability and cost is a big factor. Managing different devices, different people is needed, right? As well as cost is a big factor for going on. So many of the companies are working, many of the vendors are working and creating the next generation firewall, which can overcome such obstacle of going with next gen firewall, which is having right now. Understand? So because that, if they create such solution, which will not be a single point of failure, maybe failure will not happen so usual, right? They may have some other options so that it get down also. Maybe some other, for example, your laptop is coming with your server is coming with 2 network port. If one network port is faulty, then server still can work with other network port. Means you have some failover kind of thing, right? So that kind of feature that companies are working on, so that drastically the deployment and licensing cost can be reduced. Understand? But as of now, next generation firewall is not good to having all the features on single firewall, but many of the company enable 1 or 2 features. For example, my firewall, I have enabled firewall feature as well as VPN feature on the same device. Understand? Not all the features, but 1 or 2 features based on the resource utilization we can enable. So in our lab, we have Fortinet firewall, Fortinet FortiGate firewall, on which we have enabled firewall feature as well as we have enabled VPN feature also. VPN also you need our device, right? So in this firewall, VPN you can buy it separate device also, as well as firewall also have nowadays VPN inbuilt feature. So in this feature, I have firewall, I have configured VPN, right? So what happens is now a VPN also multiple type, SSL VPN as well as site-to-site VPN, SSL or IPsec VPN or site-to-site. SSL VPN, IPsec means site-to-site, and SSL or remote access VPN means client. For example, in many companies have a remote user which work from the company or from the home or the company, right? Remote user from their laptop, they can connect to the company network. That kind of VPN we call as SSL VPN or remote access VPN. Remotely movable user who are doing some time here, sometime here, who are not coming to the company every day. They used to connect to the company, so they can go with the remote access VPN. In the remote access, we will all happen. For example, this is a VPN device. That VPN device will have the public IP address, right? So you have to consider public IP. For example, I have configured 175.0.2.100. Then I have to configure the VPN port. For example, I have configured 4433. Get it? Then I have to create users also here. Which user? User and password, because it's a public IP address. If anybody knows the public IP address port number, they can connect otherwise. So only legitimate users should connect. In the VPN device, I have to create username and password I have to create. So now this user will install VPN client, an agent, which connect to this VPN client service. Enter the agent, install the agent, and configure IP address and port number. After that, once you connect, it will ask you username and password. So first of all, to provide the connectivity, IP address and port number. Now to authenticate whether legitimate user, valid user are trying or not. So what username and password you have created, same username and password, if it enter, then it will create a private tunnel. Tunnel will create, and you get this firewall will get the private IP to you. We have defined this, the series of IP address here. Once anybody connects to the VPN, which IP has to be assigned? It will private IP only, which IP has been assigned. So once you connected, verification will happen of your authentication of your credential. Once you connect, you will get the private IP address. Once you connect to the VPN, that means you can access any of the resources if you have been given access to. You'll feel like you are sitting in the company only. All communication will get encrypted. Even your ISP, anybody and device will not understand. They will feel like you connected to this only. In ISP, you connected, right? ISP firewall, understand? This is the source IP and this is the destination IP. They will not come to know within the destination IP you are connected to some other devices. They will not come to know because all communication is encrypted. They only see the header, right? And header information will have this source and this destination and this port every time. All communication happening further, you are accessing remote access and you are transferring some data, something happening, right? All is going through this encrypted, right? For example, now you connect to the company network, you got the private IP, means virtually your system has been shifted here. So now whenever you access any website, it will not go through your internet access. Since you are the part of here, it go through this access only. So for example, you access Facebook, your IP will not go to Facebook because you virtually shifted here only. So your company internet IP will go to the internet. Yes or no? You know what happens? See, we have similar kind of environment. It's been 6-7 years back when first time I configured this VPN to give the access. So same configuration we had. People used to connect the internet to the VPN to access our server. That time internet was not so cheap. It was so costly. We had a plan of 500 GB, 200 or 500 GB per month. When I given the internet, I see that in 2, 3, 4, 5 days on the internet bandwidth got adjusted. I seen that because having the remote access on the practice in the lab does not take much bandwidth because we are not downloading anything. I was thinking, what is the reason? The reason I found it, once you were connected, for example, you connected to the VPN of my company to do the practice. Now you got connected. Now you want with the lab access practice. You started watching some movies on YouTube, or you are started downloading something, but you forgot to disconnect. You have not disconnected the VPN. You should disconnect, right? But you had not disconnected. In this case, you are using this bandwidth, means your internet will get used. Apart from that, you are here, so my internet also getting used now. Both bandwidth are getting end-to-end bandwidth from here to here and here to here. Both bandwidth are being used. And that is the reason many of the people connect to the lab and do not disconnect and started downloading and started watching some movies. And getting bandwidth gets exhausted. Understand? Yes or no? Because once you connect, you are virtually shifted here. Everything will go through my company IP address also, only, as well as internet bandwidth. So there is one solution on the VPN device called as split tunneling. Split tunneling. Split tunneling means once you connect to the VPN, right? Whatever resource, internal resource you access, right? Your internet connected here. Any resources which are not here outside the internet you access will go through directly your internet, not through here. That is called split tunneling. Means public network that you access outside the company will go directly to the internet. And internal resources you access will go through our bandwidth. Understand? This is called as split tunneling. Then once I identify, I did some research how to tackle this kind of problem. And I came to know about this concept. We call it split tunneling. So now we applied split tunneling. So whatever practice you do in the lab, it will use our bandwidth, but if you access some other website, it will go through your internet only, not ours. Directly to the internet, not through ours. Private, our internet. Get it?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes.
So do we have, when we connect with the VPN, do we have a 2 IP address, sir? Then,
Means?
So after connecting, like our system, if I connected to the private network from my system, so I'll get a random IP address, sir.
Right, correct.
So when I connected to VPN, then it will be the organization IP address, sir.
Right, correct.
So
Correct.
that means I have a 2 IP address.
Right, you have 2 IP
when I
address. One is
connected to
virtual IP
VPN.
address, virtual IP address for VPN, another is public IP address for your internet. Get what? If you there are some technologies, for example, virtual machine also, if you install, you'll have multiple Ethernet card. Get it? The system may have multiple IP address. In this case, public IP address for this one and private IP address for your VPN.
Okay.
Understand? Same technology, same
Okay, sir. Yeah.
same feature
thank
of
you, sir.
VPN we use to access we access a website which is blocked for your country using VPN. For example, USA, we have some people from USA, right? USA government website or some website which is only for USA, not for India, not for other countries. I want to access a website which is hosted in the US but not allowed in India. Whenever I'm accessing those websites, I'm getting block page. This is US government website, not allowed to anyone. Some page cannot be saved like that. But being sitting in India, I want to access a website hosted in the US. How can I access now? In this case, what I will do, I will install a VPN client, right? And VPN server should be in US. VPN server, this is a VPN server, right? IP address, the I we call it VPN server, right? Which gives the IP address and connect, right? So VPN server, if it belongs to USA, I install an agent and it connects to the VPN server which is USA. Means this VPN server is having public IP address which belongs to USA. So once I connect to the VPN, I will come here. And once we access any internet, my IP will not go to the internet. Instead, VPN IP will go to the internet. When I access any US site will understand the IP address belongs to USA and this particular IP address. And resulting, you will be able to access the website. Understand? After connect to the VPN, because VPN, your IP will not go. See, VPN server IP will go to the internet, and VPN server belongs to USA, and resulting, you will be able to access a website belong to USA. That is how people are using to VPN to access block website. Free VPN you are using, you do not have to configure IP address, port number, anything, because people are not so technical. So it has been configured already. Whenever you install VPN, by default, VPN port number and IP address is configured, which you connect. Some free VPN, some paid VPN also coming in the internet. You have the option to select the location also. Germany, USA, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan. So what happens is, once I select Germany location, right? Germany server's IP address port number will be configured automatically. It has already list of IP address port number, but it is not visible to you because we are not technical. Not only technical people are using, right? Just give the kind of comfort so that you'll not have to do anything. Once you select USA, USA server IP address port number will be configured in the client. Once you select Germany, Germany IP address port number. Once you configure, for example, UK, USA UK IP address, right? Or some website, for example, Germany, I want to access Germany website, I can configure Germany. Maybe if you, some website of Germany allowed in USA, but not in India, even I can connect with USA VPN and access Germany website. Yes or no? So what website you are using belongs to which country? If that country VPN you connect, you will get a faster speed. Instead of routing your connection from Germany to UK or US, directly connect to that VPN server. So that IP belongs to that location only. Yes or no? That is how people are using VPN to access. For example, some website belongs to India, blocked for India. You understand, right? How it is being blocked? Generally ISP, whenever you access anything, it goes through the ISP firewall, your internet service provider firewall. Yes or no? Your internet service provider is having firewall. Generally, ISP do not block anything for anyone. But in case government respect, government, request government instruct ISP this particular website application कौन सा block हुई, बहुत सारे अरे बहुत नाचने वाचने वाला application TikTok and 100 of Chinese app, right? How this block happens? First of all, the application must be connecting some IP address. Those IP address will be blocked. The DNS and the domain will be blocked on the DNS. IP address will be blocked on the firewall. Yes or no? Blocked. So whenever you access such application, it connects to that particular IP address gets blocked. Sometimes IP address may change by the that application, but domain name will remain same. Facebook, if you want to block Facebook IP address and associated domain name will be blocked, then you cannot access. Whenever you access Facebook, whatever IP it gets resolved, but it will block because on the DNS itself they have blocked. Means you will not be able to access those websites. Application also they will not be able to access. Yes or no? Because the domain or IP address they are connected is blocked by the ISP. Still people have started using it. Some people, how they are using it? They connected through VPN. Once you connect to the VPN, your location will get shifted from here to here, and now you access that application or website. Now here, because your ISP understand you connect from this one and this is the destination IP. IPS do not understand that you are connecting to the क्या कौन सा application था वो TikTok. IP understand source is this one, destination is this one. But once you connect with this, you access TikTok, and this IP will go to the internet, not this one. And for the other one, it is accessible. It is not intercepted by your ISP, and that is the reason you are able to access the website which is blocked for India in India. And still VPN you can access. Many people are using VPN.
Sir, even attacker also can use this VPN, right?
I hope you are using for legitimate purpose.
Yes, sir, but he can also make use of it.
So VPN, people are misusing also VPN, not for study or not for actual use. They are misusing also, right? Sometimes attacker also using VPN to hide their identity, so that actual IP will be hidden behind the VPN, and VPN IP will go. Sometimes many attacks happen behind the VPN. Yes or no? That's the reason Indian government instructed VPN provider that you have to disclose the identity of people. You have to give the information. Any of the VPN part of India, right? So they should have customer information and they should give the information to the government. Otherwise, we do not require you go out of India. What happens is only VPN device server will record the logs, right? Who has connected? For example, some people access the VPN and connect to some site which is blocked. Yes or no? Only VPN vendor and VPN server has recorded who has connected, because every time VPN IP is going to the internet, other people will not come to know what is the original IP address of the system. So government instructed that you have to share the detail with the government. Otherwise, you go stop your service here and go your home, go back to your home. Because many people are misusing. Especially that is the reason attacks are especially being originated from outside, because outside countries are not going to help you. Even some big attacker will come, they will not help you. That's the reason in cybersecurity we believe in prevention. We should have some kind of network so that we'll be able to prevent the attack. Yes or no? Not for cure, not for investigation. Within the country, if you have some physical attacks, some theft happen, you have police, they can catch because they have all control. Physical attack, right? But virtual attack, cyber attack are happening from outside the country, and we don't have control. Even if you find the attacker also, who was the one? The country is not going to help. Other countries are not going to help, right? We are helpless. That's the reason instead of cure, we believe in prevention. Yes or no? We should have such kind of security controls so that we can prevent our network. We can prevent the cyber attacks. We do not lodge the FIR most of the time, right? Because investigation is a never ending process most of the time. And if you come to know also, Excel is not in your hand. Yes or no? But it is very important to inform to the government when such kind of attack will happen. It's a liability and it's a responsibility of the company to inform to the government if the attack involve the expose of user information, confidential private information of the user, identity information, the payment card, industry information. If those information are being compromised, it's responsibility of the company to inform to the government, because the information is not there. It's the country information, the government, the whole public information. Yes, so if any company had this kind of attack, the big case, big penalty, as well as maybe company license will get cancelled.